Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. So, welcome everyone. We'll see if anybody else is coming or not coming, but Baba is here. So, we shall begin our session with beloved Baba's humor. And we all know how much emphasis Baba has given to God's humor all his life. An innumerable number of messages and stories talks about it. So, I'll begin with something by Bal Natu for the session, and then we'll move on to other Baba friends who would like to share. This is from Glimpses of the God Man, Volume 3. It was a day for light talk, and it seemed most appropriate that Baba touched on the subject of God's sense of humor. He stated that creation of God's Leela, divine sport, and that it is sustained by his sense of humor. He also explained that the expression of God's humor varies with the scope and range of work that is ordained and accomplished in each advent through the avatar, Sadguru, saints, and musts. In fact, God's sense of humor is so pervasive that there is not a person who is totally devoid of it. Baba began in a humorous vein. Whether I am the avatar or Shaitan, Satan, one thing is certain, that is, I have a great sense of humor. It is my sense of humor that makes me rejoice to see Anna 104 and happy to listen to the irrelevant talk of Babadas. Anna's type of personality is more than enough to exhaust the patience and forbearance of rishis and munis, saints and sages. Yet I cannot help but humor them both, and going out of my way to keep them near me. Both of them have rendered great and unique service to me, and I know that they both love me sincerely. Baba then referred to incidents from the different lives of the avatar that expressed a deep sense of humor. He continued, It is said that once Rasul-e-Khuda, the messenger of God, felt indisposed, and someone suggested that that was due to an evil eye and that he should sleep on a pillow with an open knife underneath it. He did so and thereafter declared himself to be all right. Call it ordinary or call it divine, it was Muhammad's sense of humor. It is a fact that during the childhood of his grandsons, Hassan and Hussein, the Prophet predicted the Muharram Karbala to his daughter Fatima, the mother of the martyrs. The Prophet did not try to avoid or avert the tragedy, and that was only because of God's divine sense of humor in Muhammad. Likewise, the strife between the Kauravas and the Pandavas and the consequent bloodshed was not only due to the divine sense of humor in Krishna, but its height was reached when Krishna himself died through an arrow that accidentally stuck one of his legs from the bow of an ordinary hunter who never had any intention of harming the Rangila, playful avatar in any way. The kind hearted Jesus knew very well that his nearest disciple would betray him and thus led to his crucifixion. But because of the divine sense of humor, Christ could not help getting himself crucified, although the world rightly continues to look upon him as the savior of humanity. The funniest divine sense of humor was on the part of Buddha when he simply died of simple dysentery through the medicine for the spiritual bimaris, illnesses of mankind, holds the field to this day. In short, save for a change in the circumstances, the atmosphere, and the surroundings, the same old story goes on, repeating again and again, which by itself proves the divine sense of humor. The manifestation of the divine fun, sport, or lila, however, depends upon the great ones perfect ones of God, who achieve oneness with God, and thus, in spite of raising themselves above the law of duality, they still retain the divine sense of humor to uphold the universal law of ignorance through which knowledge divine is achieved for all eternity. Those who were with me at the spot at the time of my car accident in America can alone well describe my own sense of humor as to how thoroughly battered, bruised, and literally helpless and hopeless I was when lying with broken bones in a pool of my own blood, together with my dearest ones. I yet maintained my silence and my consciousness throughout the crisis and the long period of convalescence. Jai Meher Baba. With that, may I request dear Betty to sing the Leela song for us, since we spoke so much about Leela and God's humor. Hi, Mihail. Jai Baba.
Hi, sweetheart. Good to see you here.
Everyone else also, please search up your humor story that you would share later with us. Betty, you need to unmute.
Oh dear. Glad you caught me. Okay. The eyes of the baby look at everything from under. The eyes of the young man behold his lady's face with wonder. The eyes of the old man look upon the flowing river. What of those whose eyes are when they leave this world forever? Leela, Leela, this life is just a game. Winners lose and losers win, and the game is still the same. Leela, Leela, this world is just a play. Those who say don't know, and those who know don't say. Where is the man who in his heart can really feel it? Can he feel it in himself, and then can he reveal it? So let us sing to God and clean our hearts of strangers. When mind is gone, the heart is strong, and love remains forever. Leela, Leela, this life is just a game. Winners lose and losers win, and the game is still the same. Leela, Leela, this world is just a play. Those who say don't know, and those who know don't say. How can a man accept life who does not accept the dying? How can he achieve his purpose without even trying? How can a man have courage who cannot as well be tender? He who wins the game is he who's learning to surrender. Leela, Leela, this life is just a game. Winners lose and losers win, and the game is still the same. Leela, Leela, this world is just a play. Those who say don't know, and those who know don't say. Maher is the man who in his heart can really feel it. He feels it all within himself, and for us did reveal it. So let us sing aloud, and let our heart be gladder. Sing to God until the masquerade no longer matters. Leela, Leela, this life is just a play. Those who say don't know, and those who know don't say. Leela, Leela, this life is just a game. Winners lose and losers win, and the game is still the same. Jai Baba.
Jai Meher Baba. That was amazing. Thank you, Betty. So, who would like to go ahead with a humorous story from their lives or from Baba's life, from the Mandli life? Anyone?
I have a story to read if
Yes,
yeah.
sure.
Okay, this is from Paul's our constant companion, sweet Paul. All right. This is a story from Jacko Caraco, the acupuncturist. Yeah, Jack. We all love him out here. He's at Marana community now. And it's called Dynamite Dan. The key to appreciating Mayor Baba's sense of humor is to be able to laugh with Baba. But that is not always easy, especially when you are not sure you believe in him. For example, take my brother Daniel's case. In August 1975, I flew from the West Coast to Boston to see him before I was leaving for India. When my plane landed, Daniel was not there to meet me. He must be late, I thought. Yes, he hates to get up early. He must be late. It was in one of those long exit corridors that I saw him being dragged into a room by two hefty plainclothes policemen. He saw me and feigned a smile and was gone behind a slammed door. What had happened was this. A set of keys he had on him had triggered the alarm on the metal detector. When the keys were discovered, the official at the gate said, "It's okay, you can go now." Dan happily responded, "I can go dynamite." That's something we say when it's a good thing. He started to leave when suddenly from behind a fat hand grabbed him on the shoulder and asked in an angry voice, "What did you say?" Daniel turned to see the fat hand was attached to a fat arm, which in turn had on the end of it a fat cop with a matching fat head. Daniel replied, "I said it's time to go." "No, you didn't. You said dynamite. Come on." "Come on," said Daniel. "Sure, I said it, but it's an expression, which means great, terrific, hooray. Never mind, you're under arrest." He was charged with a felony, trying to cause fear and panic at the airport. Oops, I just lost my. It took all of Baba's help and remembrance all day and $5,000 in bail to bail Daniel out of the pen. The whole family literally flew out 3 weeks later for the trial. The judge heard the charge, listened to the prosecution, and after a few questions, threw the case out. What a relief! Once more, I prepared to fly to India. Dynamite Daniel took me to the airport, waved goodbye, and said loudly, "Bye, Jack." "Bye, Jack." I thought it sounded like he was saying, "Hi, Jack." And I told him, "Look, brother, if they haul you away now, I'm not going to bail you out." He smiled, and I left for India. As a sequel to all this, some months later, I received this letter from Daniel. "Dear Jack, happy birthday, belated for your receipt, but in my heart, I'm keeping faith with the event. So if Mayor Baba is hot stuff, as it is claimed, then you certainly have already received the essential content of this letter, along with our August eventfulness and the subsequent $730 lawyer bill. I hope you have had words with Baba regarding his wastefulness of an individual's time and self-direction, namely mine, and that you now have informed him as to how it is okay with you if he engages you with pranks, because you are a willing soul in in the learning of one's life more difficult lessons, smiling at whatever comes your way, but you chose the game and I didn't. So you speak to Baba since he exists for you and also since I don't believe in him. But just in case I'm wrong, you tell him I'll be a lot more tolerant if he'll just stop bugging me. Love, Daniel. This is Jacko's brother. What a story. Imagine.
That's hilarious.
It's really funny.
Baba's trying to.
Crazy. $5,000 bail for yelling. Oh my
Well, he should respect Baba, shouldn't he? It'll cost him less.
Yeah, he's hard-headed. I think he was working on him. Oh my goodness.
That was
Would
a great
anyone else? Meher, would you like to share some story?
I'm just listening today.
Okay. Okay. I'll 1 second. Meher, would you like to share something?
Well, I'm thinking I don't have anything currently. No, I don't.
I can
Sorry.
sing a song. I can sing Always Wrong. That's funny.
Yeah,
Oh,
sure.
and the animal ones. And the animal ones.
All God's critters. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, let's see. Where are we here? Okay, I'll do this. God's critters. That came up first. All God's critters got a place in the choir. Some sing low and some sing higher. Some sing out loud on the telephone wire, and some just clap their hands or paws or anything they got now. Listen to the top where the little birds singing on the melodies and the high notes ringing. And the hoot owl cries over everything, and the blackbird disagrees. Sing it in the nighttime, sing it in the day when the little duck quacks and he's on his way. And the otter hasn't got very much to say, and the porcupine talks to himself. All God's critters got a place in the choir. Some sing low and some sing higher. Some sing out loud on a telephone wire, and some just clap their hands or paws or anything they got now. The dogs and the cats, they take up the middle with the honeybee hums and the cricket fiddles. The donkey brays and the pony neighs and the old gray badger sighs. Listen to the bass, it's the one on the bottom where the bullfrog croaks and the hippopotamus moans and groans with a big to-do. And the old cow just goes moo. All God's critters got a place in the choir. Some sing low and some sing higher. Some sing out loud on a telephone wire, and some just clap their hands or paws or anything they got now. It's a simple little song sung everywhere by the ox and the fox and the grizzly bear, the dopey alligator and the hawk above, the sly old weasel and the turtle dove. All God's critters got a place in the choir. Some sing low and some sing higher. Some sing out loud on a telephone wire, and some just clap their hands or paws or anything they got now. Jay Baba.
Yay, that's a nice one.
That's great.
I
That
think I
was
have
really
something,
nice.
but I have to look for it. It's a
Okay.
Bauji story, but I have to look for it.
Okay.
Okay. So, should I read something till then?
Sure.
Yeah, do.
Okay. All right. So this is also by Bhauji. It
Yeah.
says to all dear ones by email, 28th June 2001. Subject Bhau's Awakening of 28th June. Sahwas Humor Part 1. From Bhau. My dearest Bobby Manonash, bracket Jeff McGuire. Yesterday, Wednesday, 27th June, I sent you one email and afterwards I was attending other work of the trust. and also emails. But my predominant thought was that I should send you a message for LA Sahavas. I completed the office work at 7 p.m. and then took a short walk. Afterwards, I went for dinner, but the thought lingered that I had to send a message to you for the LA Sahavas. Then, at 10:30 p.m., I prayed to Baba. Please, beloved Baba, give me a message for the LA Sahavas as requested by your dear Jeff. He is humorous and therefore give something humorous in the form of a message. Then I went to bed. After some hours, I was half awake and half asleep. I was dreaming, and Baba appeared in my dream. You want a message for the LA Sahavas? And you want something humorous to please Jeff? You witnessed the 1955 and 1958 Sahavas at Mehrabad and observed every little detail, every little thing which happened at the time. That is my message. When the pilgrims came the first day, just 1 second, sorry. I don't know what my Alexa picked up suddenly in his humor. 1 second. When the pilgrims came the first day, I embraced each one. I told them that they must be free here, as if they were in their own homes. Do not hesitate to see the doctors if you are not feeling well. Those who are used to allopathic treatment should go to Dr. Neelu or Dr. Donkin. Those who are used to homeopathy should go to Padri. Eat well and sleep well. Forget the world. Forget your business. Forget your family. Just be with me. If you think of any other thing, you cannot be with me. So long as you are here, do not be with the world. Be with me. I give so many instructions on the first day. One person, Dorab Shah Umrigar from Bombay, registered in his mind that I had asked everyone to be free and feel as if they were living in their own home. Early in the morning, I would come from Mehrazad to Mehrabad, where I would take my breakfast. I would also take my lunch there. There was one boy, Bapu, who would make me my breakfast and lunch. I would like to have a little cream for my breakfast. But the day after I gave him these instructions, no cream was there when he brought my breakfast, only dry bread. Where is my cream? I asked Bapu. He replied, Baba, I kept the cream in the safe, bracket small cupboard, but I don't know who ate it. In the morning, when I opened the safe, the cream was not there. You must have eaten the cream, I replied. Tomorrow, if you don't bring cream for me, I will get rid of you and appoint somebody else in your place. In the evening, I would return to Mehrazad. The second day when I came to Mehrabad and Bapu brought my breakfast again, there was no cream. Again, there is no cream, I said to him. He replied that he had kept the cream in the safe and he did not know who had eaten it. If I don't get cream tomorrow, I warned Bapu, I will not see your face. Then what happened? Bapu hid in the kitchen and remained awake the whole night. While everyone was sleeping, Dorab Shah came into the kitchen, opened the safe, and ate the cream. Bapu remained concealed. He was very, very happy, thinking that he caught the thief. The following morning, when he brought me my breakfast, still there was no cream. Now I will not see your face, I exclaimed. Yesterday I warned you, and still there is no cream? Bapu said to me, Baba, I caught the thief. When everyone sleeps at night, he comes into the kitchen and eats your cream. So I said to Bapu, bring that thief to me. Bapu went and brought Dorab Shah. I said to Dorab Shah, you ate my cream? You opened the safe in the dead of the night and you eat the cream which is kept for me? Dorab Shah said to me, Baba, you had given instruction that I should remain free and behave as I do in my home. So I'm telling you the truth. In order to follow your instructions, I eat the cream because I do the same thing at home. I laughed and said to him, you are the only one person obeying my instruction 100%. But stop it. And from tomorrow, don't eat my cream. He accepted this and then he left. Now I had told the pilgrims that they should be free here and they should stay here as if they are in their own homes. But how to remain free? Dorab Shah was not free. He was going to the kitchen in the dead of the night so that nobody would see him. He was committing theft. So he was not free. To remain free is to remain in the present. This present should not be connected with the past or the future. I am eternally present. To remain in my sahavas in the present, you must not connect yourself with the past or the future. You must be with me. When you are with me, you cannot think about the world. When lovers come for my sahavas for that period at least, they should remain aloof from the world. What would I do with the pilgrims when they were with me? I would embrace them. I would ask them different things. I would have them tell me humorous stories. I would serve them food. I would play with them. I would ask them to sing. In this way, I would keep them engaged so that they would not be able to think of any other thing outside the savas. Now, I'm not this body, but I'm very active in everyone. In order to feel me active within, the pilgrims who attend my sahavas in LA or elsewhere should remain engaged with the activities there. I don't say that they should close their eyes and meditate. I say that they remain engaged with the activities of the Savas program. In this way, they remain with me and not with their false self. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai.
That's beautiful. Yeah. Okay, so I'll read also one from Bauji. This is While the World Slept. While the World Slept. It has many mischievous parts in it in most of the stories, which are actually how Baba trained Bauji very strictly. But Bauji had this wonderful humor like Baba. This very slight and good humor, not hurtful humor. And so Baba had a lot of fun with him, trying to being very mischievous with him, but training him while doing that very fiercely, very strongly. So Bao's embrace. After returning from Hamirpur and Andhra, Baba moved to Satara, where we stayed in Satara for 2.5 years, and many incidents occurred there. Baba stayed with the women Mandali in a large bungalow called Grafton, while the men Mandali occupied 2 separate houses, Rosewood and later Jal Villa also. In Satara, I began keeping night watch near Baba from midnight until 5 o'clock a.m. One night, Baba called me inside. He was lying in bed and made some signs. The room was dark and I could not see Baba's gestures clearly, but I saw both his arms moving and thought he wanted to embrace me. Feeling very happy, I bent down and spread my arms around him. Baba's face took on an astonished expression and he exclaimed, "What are you doing?" I quickly stood up. Then he said, "I asked you to cover my body with a blanket. What are you doing in the dead of night? I am alone here with you, and who is there to come to my rescue?" I felt abashed and covered Baba with a blanket. The next morning, Baba came to the men Mandalian quarters. Pointing to me, he said, "This man is peculiar. Last night I was feeling cold. To cover me with a blanket. And in the middle, Rita has to be okay. The next morning, Baba came to the men Mandali's quarters, pointing to me, and he said, "This man is peculiar. Last night I was feeling cold and asked him to cover me with a blanket. And in the middle of the night, he begins embracing and embracing me. I was so frightened. I actually began to perspire. And being silent, I could not call to anyone for help. Baba chuckled as he reenacted the scene, his frightened look and my open arms, and everyone laughed because of my hours on night watch. Now, this is one story, and actually, this little one is a different story by itself and also funny. Because of my hours on night watch, in the mornings I was permitted to sleep later. One morning, Baba came to Jal Villa at about 7 o'clock. I was sleeping in my room and Baba knocked at the door. I got up, and when I opened the door, I saw him standing there. He asked me, "Were you sleeping?" I said, "Yes, Baba." He said, he said, "Sleep and sleep well, but keep awake in my love." Baba is so funny. Are you sleeping? No, I'm not sleeping. You woke me up. Oh, Baba. So he's now waking up.
Jai Baba, that was really amusing. Thanks, Meher.
Michal.
Thanks, Meher. Sorry.
Yeah. People get confused with my name.
Sorry. Yeah, I
That's
deal
okay.
with that every day as well. Sorry. From
Oh, yeah,
Roshani to
you deal with that.
Roshni
I deal
to
with that too.
Roshini.
Yeah. So you know how it feels. That's also a
Yes.
joke.
Sorry for that. Okay. This one I think is by Mehra Arjani from her blog
Oh,
and says, recently everyone has been talking about Baba's humor. Even my parents were supposed to talk about this for the young adult Sahwas held at Mehrabad last month. This is an old one, so but ended up talking about other things about him, I'm told. However, yesterday in Mandli Hall at Mehrazad, there was talk of his humor, and these two stories that I've not heard myself were so funny and so sweet. I am sharing with you all. Both of these are from my dad, Sam Kerawala. The first one takes place during one of Baba's visits to Karachi in what is now Pakistan, but was then undivided India. Baba was being hosted at a very posh hotel called the Grand Hotel by Mansari Desai's uncle, Homi Desai. The evening was very enjoyable and Baba was in a very good mood. Beaming at the gathering, he said, "Is there anyone who is more loving, caring, gentle, and considerate than I am?" No one said anything. Baba gestured. "Don't worry, say openly if you know someone who is more loving and gentle than me. I won't be angry." At this, Homi Desai got up to speak. "You know someone who is more loving and gentle than I am?" Baba gestured incredulously. "Who?" "My butcher," Homi replied. "Your butcher? Why is he more loving and gentle than me?" "Because, Baba, he kills with one clean stroke, whereas you cut a little here, prick a bit there, making small, small wounds and taking forever about it," said Homi. Baba laughed, then gestured. "I too can kill at one stroke, but if I do that, your eyes won't be opened. Only by cutting a little here, pinching a little there, and so on, can I accomplish what I have come to do, which is to awaken you." Divine humor in spades.
Oh, wow.
The
This is
other
a
story
great
happens.
story. Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah. The other story happens in Mehrabad during the 1958 Sahwas. There were around 2,000 people at the gathering, and one day they were sitting before Baba, and a singer was singing a qawwali for Baba's entertainment. For some reason, he kept on repeating the line, "If you cannot quench my thirst, don't call yourself the limitless ocean." Over and over, he sang this same line, even though Baba gestured to him several times to move on. Ignoring Baba, he kept repeating, "If you can't quench my thirst, don't call yourself the limitless ocean." It being around tea time, just then the tea boy brought the tea around. Baba gestured to him to come on the stage. As the singer was going on one more time, "If you," Baba looks at the singer, then gestures to the tea wala without missing a beat, "Give this man 2 cups. He's very thirsty." Even the singer had to stop and laugh out loud. Funny, funny God. There were
Yeah.
other stories. Baba cheating at gilli danda and cards. Baba eating up someone's food while berating her about breaking his order to eat only simple dal, rice, and vegetables. So many times he came down to the human level and played with us as one of us. Then, just as we had got used to thinking of him as a child or playmate, he'd remind us, "Don't take me for granted. Just because I become one of you, don't forget that I am God." Hope you all have a humorous day in His love. Jai Meher Baba.
Yeah. Well, I remember that this reminded me, but I don't remember the exact way it was told. And because we're on Mother's Day, and I love Shirin Mai. And I remember you in the play. You did a great job then. And I really love her. She's a daring woman. So are you. And she wasn't afraid of anyone. She went to Baba Jan and screamed at her. She went to Upasni Maharaj and screamed at him. And Upasni Maharaj actually was making fun with her as well. But they all respected her greatly. So she came out okay from these big masters that she came and berated. She was a great woman. So she had a great sense of humor. And I think that is how Baba also got it in the genes, in the body genes, not only in the God genes. So there is, I don't know how to tell this story to make it fun, but what I remember is one day she came to Upasni Maharaj. She was going to berate him and tell him that that's it. She wants her son back, and she's going to get her son back. So she was bringing this garland, and I don't know what happened there. And the talk between them, he said, "You put a garland of shoes over me," and he's talking to her, and he says, "Oh, you missing your train." And she goes for a train, forgetting to take Merwan with her. So he kept diverting her attention in that way. And there was another story with Baba, which I'm sorry, it should be found because it's really funny to read how they talk with each other, because she's sharp mouthed and he's sharp headed. I mean, he's sharp minded, and they have the humor between them. So one day she was in Mariband, and she asked to bring fish pomfrets from Mumbai. And they were not allowed to eat. They were not allowed to eat fish in the ashram in the Mariband, where she came. And he put Gaimai, who was still there with her daughters in Mariband, and he told her that when Shirin Mai comes, then she should take care of him, because Shirin Mai really loved Gaimai, and Gaimai knew how to get along with her. So Shirin Mai tells Gaimai, "You tell that lady who's coming from Bombay to bring the fish." She says, "We're not allowed to do that." She says, "Yes, but you're supposed to take care of me, and I'm not of the ashram, so I can eat fish. So you tell her to bring fish." So this lady comes, she brings fish, but you can't bring anything without telling Baba. But at that time, she brought it straight to the upper hill, and Baba was downhill. So Gaimai, okay, she says, "I have to serve his mother. That's about what Baba told me." So she makes these comforts, and she wants to give it to Shirin Mai, and Shirin Mai comes to eat. And there Baba comes, of course, right at that moment, and he says, we're not supposed to eat fish in the ashram. He says, I'm not of the ashram, and so I can eat fish. And he says, no, when you're here, you can't eat fish because all people here cannot eat. And she says, but I'm your mother. So she's arguing about this. You know, I'm your mother. You're supposed to honor your mother. And while they're talking, a cat comes in, jumps on the fish, snatches them away, and goes. And she says, "Oh, Baba, you tricked me." I mean, she says to her son, and he says, "Yeah, I tricked you. Yeah, you can't. He's God. You know, you can't argue with God, even if you're the mother of God." So she had quite a humor. She was wow. She was a wow woman. She was a wow woman. And she had all this humor. Like she would say to Sherayaji, for the blankets that you give to all these poor people, we could have had a shop of blankets and sold them and got money. So she knew how to put words.
What a pair, those
So
two,
true, so
Shireen and
true.
Sherry.
I remember one of the parts from the play as well, where she is talking to her mother, and Shireen Mai says, like, you know, almost words to effect, that he could have become a doctor, an engineer. What is this of becoming God? Like, I would be so happy as a mother. He would become a doctor, engineer, get married, have kids. Like, what is this? You know, almost as if being God was a profession.
Actually, she was right. You know, as a mother,
Yeah.
she was very right, because what did Baba do? He just suffered all his life. He never had any time for himself. He never did anything for his own joy. I mean, he did some things for his own joy, but it was always serving others. So actually, she wanted the good of her son. She
Yeah.
wanted him to have a good life, and he
Yes.
had a
Yes.
very
But that's the innocence.
very
So
crucified
true.
life. Yeah,
True. True.
so she was really caring for him in all ways. Betty, you were saying, and you didn't finish.
Oh, I just said, what a pair, those two, Sheriar and Shireen. What an interesting marriage.
Oh
So
yeah, beautiful. How they complemented each other,
well, so
because he was so saintly and she was so down to earth.
yeah, and the age difference didn't really seem to, it worked out. It was okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So true. So true.
I have a fun.
And the innocence of a mother, you know, like fearlessly, as you said, saying anything. She didn't care who it was, what saint, sage, or any titles, or, you know, anything that Baba would say. And all that mattered was her merog.
Yeah, yeah. She was a very special lady, and no doubt, no surprising that she was the mother of the Avatar.
Hmm.
True, true. There are so many interesting stories also from the God brother. And I was amazed to read some which are so not there in other literature of, you know, Baba's mischievous ways of approach and perspective towards teaching us our lessons. But there's another one from Sahwas Humor Part 2 by Bhauji, which I'll read. At 10:30 p.m. Wednesday, sorry, this is the same. Sorry, I'm just 1 second. I'll just open the next one. 1 second, sorry. See, Baba keeps doing this. I'll read this one, then I'll open the other one.
He's the
This is
mischievous
titled
one.
Baba found the incident humorous and tolerated his toothache until it subsided. Due to the violent knocking of his forehead against stone during the years when he was coming down, Baba's teeth would occasionally bother him. On October 1st, 1933, he complained that he had a terrible toothache. Adi Jr. approached the ship's doctor, who refused to dispense any medicine without first seeing the patient. Chanji tried to circumvent this by going to him with a request that he be given some medicine for gargling. The doctor, however, thought that he was the patient Adi had spoken to him about and promptly examined Chanji's teeth. Chanji protested that his teeth were fine and that he did not need any medicine. Even though Chanji tried to explain that he was not the patient, the doctor ignored his pleas and applied the medicine to Chanji's teeth. He told him to sit still for half an hour. After 15 minutes, the doctor poured a very bitter preparation into Chanji's mouth. Chanji had gone to fetch medicine for Baba only to return with a bitter taste in his mouth. Meanwhile, Baba found the incident humorous and tolerated his toothache until it subsided. This is from Lord Neher, Volume 5.
Yeah, fine. Funny. Oh, but that's things.
Yeah,
Did you
I
have
will.
another one?
Yeah, uh, you're asking me?
Yep. Did you have
Yes.
another?
Do you want to read? Yes. I just. I'm trying to find that which I was trying to read, the other one.
I have a silly
Yeah.
photo to share.
Please, please, please share.
Yeah. This is Bauji and Huey Magician at Marana, actually.
Bauji would do these most funny, funny, how do you call it, skits.
Yeah.
He would be ready to do anything, like the boxing match with
The
Stanux.
Right.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
So
to see.
Stanux is the big guy and Bauji is the little one, and and they have this agreement that he will give him a box and that he will, he will fake it. And Bauji gave him a box, and he flew. He was so surprised. Yeah, funny.
Mikhail, you never came to LA, did you? Did you come to LA, Sahabas?
No, LA. I never was in LA. I was only in Myrtle Beach. I was never in my life in LA. I was in San Francisco once, but that was before I knew Baba. I was in New Orleans once. I was in.
So did you see the boxing matches at Myrtle Beach? How did you see that?
Oh, how did I see them? Did they have a video of it? I think they had a video or part video of it.
Okay. Oh, that would be fun to see. I wonder where we could find that. That's neat.
Yeah, I wonder. Maybe Mother C knows about it. Because I remember the picture. I remember Fred Stanux talking about it, about this fact. When Bao gave him the box, he was surprised that it really, he really flew, and so that was a Baba time.
Okay. So this is another one by Bauji from his Awakening Sahwas Humor series. They all begin the same way with Jeff McGuire being the central focus. So yeah, okay. At 10:30 p.m., Wednesday, 27th June, I prayed to Baba. Please, beloved Baba, give me one message for the LA Sahwas as requested by your dear Jeff McGuire. He is humorous and therefore give me something humorous in the form of a message. Then I went to bed. After some hours, I was half awake and half asleep. I was dreaming and Baba appeared in my dream. Do you remember what happened during the 1958 Sahwas? There were two groups according to the language, Telugu and Gujarati, instead of four as in 1955. When these groups came to Mehrabad for my Sahwas, they found my birthday fell during the Sahwas period. They requested me to allow them to celebrate my birthday. When I granted them permission, they were very happy. Then villagers came from Arangaon. They too wanted to celebrate my birthday, and again I granted them permission. On the evening of 24th February, when I left Mehrabad for Mehrazad, The pilgrims and villagers did not sleep the whole night. They were very, very busy decorating the pandals, temporary structures with cloth roofs and supported by bamboo poles, erected for ceremonial occasions, under which Baba would meet people and sit to give darshan. One of the Arangaon villagers worked in an office in Ahmednagar and he brought his car for this special occasion. The villagers wanted Baba to ride in it, and this too they spent the night decorating. On the morning of the 25th at about 4 a.m., I started from Mehrazad. Erach was driving me in the Chevrolet. I had to ease myself and instructed to him to take me to my cabin at Mehrabad. But what happened? The pilgrims and villagers from Arangaon came 3 miles from Mehrabad towards Ahmednagar to receive me and take me in the car they had decorated. They surrounded me singing, dancing and shouting Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Get away from here, Erach told them, because I had instructed him to take me directly to my cabin. Give me passage. But when they did not go away, I told Erach, stop the car, and he did so. I stepped out of the Chevrolet and sat in the decorated car. The pilgrims and the villagers continued to sing and to dance. It took 2 hours for me to reach Mehrabad. When I reached my cabin, I immediately went inside to ease myself. Because the pilgrims and visitors were shouting Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai, Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai, I could not ease myself. I came out of my cabin and went to the pandal where I started the program. Earlier, the villagers had walked barefoot to a sacred river and brought water from it. They wanted to wash my feet in the holy water. My experience is that I am in you all, I told the crowd. So why should I trouble you to wash my feet? When I wash my feet myself, because I am in you all, the result will be as if you all have washed my feet. So I washed my feet with the holy water, and when I was done, the water was kept in one utensil. The villagers were planning to take it, so I asked Sidhu, one of my mandli, to take this water and throw it in the field, which he did. Then the darshan program started. Though I did not like people bowing down to me, the pilgrims and villagers requested me to allow it. So I permitted them to bow down to me on that one day. Everyone lined up in a queue. One person from Hamirpur prostrated before me. I waited and waited, but when he did not get up, I said to those around me, come here, see whether this man is dead or alive. The man from Hamirpur immediately got up and everyone enjoyed themselves. So the Sahawaz program would be very, very enjoyable when I would hold them at Mehrabad. There were many Sahavasis and each would feel that I loved them more than I loved the others. Everyone would feel the same. It would always happen that each drop in the ocean thought it was by itself in the ocean, and no other drop was in the ocean. Thus, nobody felt I was paying more attention toward others than to him. In fact, the situation was just the reverse. Everyone thought to themselves, Baba is paying me the most attention. I would open the gate of my infinite heart and love would flow towards everyone. No one would feel ignored, though I'm not in a physical body. I still do the same thing. Why did I start these Sahwas programs? I started them so my lovers would obtain relief from their worldly affairs and spend time with me. When they do so, even though I've dropped my physical body, I remain busy and active in them. Therefore, these Sahwas programs are very, very important. People are terribly busy in this sophisticated age. They are so involved in the world, they have no time to think about God. But these Sahwas programs give them an opportunity to remain away from the world and be with me. And what do I do for them? I take their burden of sanskaras on myself and I suffer for them. That is my pleasure because my existence is for this purpose. I created creation and therefore I am responsible for everyone and everything. Baba then disappeared and I slept. At about 5 a.m., beloved Baba again appeared and I woke up. He was not talking, but he was creating a feeling in me. And so I remembered the awakening that he wanted to convey. He asked me, "Did you follow what I had told you about the Sahavas? Remember this. When my lovers are in my Sahavas, they should forget the world and be with me. In order to be with me, they should sing, they should talk, they should dance, they should see my films, they should have different workshops, they should have a toddy shop as they do during the LA Sahavas. They should remember what I was doing when I was working in the toddy shop. They should play games. They should arrange different activities pertaining to my life and work. This is the practical way of remembrance and to be with me. They should remain in my company, bracket Sahavas, during the Sahavas period and not with their false self, which consists of anger, lust, greed, selfishness, jealousy, backbiting, slander, hypocrisy, and other thoughts and temptations. They must enjoy my company. When they are in my company, because I am bliss, there is no room for sadness. Enjoy that bliss by being with me. I am happy that my lovers have started Sahavas programs all over the world, and I want them to know that I am with them all the time and also very active in them. I cannot ignore anyone. Now, I will tell you something very important. I have three types of followers. First, obedient. Those who follow me and do whatever I say. They never ask anything and they never think of any other thing but to follow my orders. They are fully dedicated. They remain surrendered to me and do not expect anything from me. They just seek my pleasure. They feel happy in my happiness. Though they suffer and suffer, they never complain. 2. Obedient with reservation. They follow me in order to get some material benefit. When I ask them to follow me, they ask, "What benefit will we derive if we follow you?" I know that even if I explain to them, they will not be able to understand. So I ask them to catch hold of my fingers and follow me. And they will come to know what they will receive from me. So they do as I ask. On their way, they forget about possible benefits and they follow me. 3. Adamant. When I ask them to follow me, they say, "Why should I follow you? Who are you?" If I tell them I'm God in human form, they say, "You are egoistic." They blame me, they criticize me, they abuse me. This group includes those addicted to the rituals and ceremonies of different religions, as well as atheists and intellectuals who think that they know everything. Most people of the world fall under this group. But if I am God, I am them. I am everyone and everything, and nothing exists besides me. So I cannot hate anyone. If anyone praises me or criticizes me, I am him or her. So, this third type, even if they criticize and abuse me, because I have created them, I am responsible for them. It is my duty to take everyone to the destination. So, I take members of this third group on my shoulders. But they don't sit quietly. They beat me, but I cannot ignore them and must put up with their abuse because they too are my responsibility. The first type are the trusted ones. I trust them, and I know that in any case, they will never leave me. I have to take care of the second type. In the beginning, I tempt them with food or anything they like. Gradually, however, they forget about these lures and become obedient. The third type creates infinite trouble for me But even though very mischievous, they also are my children. I have to put up with them and I have to take care of them. That's why I am the compassionate father of everyone. When I come down on earth in human form, I have to catch the birds in my net. But when I spread out my net, birds do not come near it. So I spread grain at a distance and hide myself. The birds then come to eat the grain. I spread the grain a little nearer to the net, and the birds approach a little closer. Still, I remain hidden. In this way, spread the grain nearer and nearer to the net. When they reach the net, I stand there. By that time, the birds have become bold. Naturally, those birds who see me and love me are caught in the net. Once they are caught, I can twist their necks. I can do anything. They cannot fly out of the net because they are caught. I have full trust in them, and I know whatever I do, they cannot fly out of the net. I have to make these birds free from their false self, and therefore I have to do these things. This is my real compassion. To give them grain to eat is also compassion. But to twist their neck to keep them hungry, to behave badly with them, is real compassion. Then beloved Avatar Meher Baba closed by saying, word for word to me, therefore, O my dear ones, I am your compassionate father. Don't fear for anything because everything is nothing but illusion. I am the real one, and I am your compassionate father. I can never ignore you, so try to remain with me in my Sahvas and not with the world during your Sahvas period. I tell you that I will give you that gift which you will not receive, even if you renounce the world externally. Do meditation or concentration, do yogic practices, fast, keep silence, or perform all types of austerities. I love you all. My love blessing to you, my dear lovers of LA, and all who love me and who do not love me, I belong to you all. Dear Jeff, beloved Avatar Meher Baba appeared before me for a moment and then he disappeared behind the curtain. The voice was coming, which my heart registered. I'm sending this to you. How compassionate beloved Baba is, that he gave this message for you all, and I hope it will have an impact on your hearts. With all love and Jai Baba to you and all dear ones who are attending the Sahavas in Pilgrim Pines, in his love and service, Bhav. Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai. That was a long one.
Beautiful
I feel
reading.
it
Beautiful
was a
reading and important.
very important one, I feel, for all of us. Yeah. Jai Baba Vandana, Jai Baba Ralph. Would you like to share something? Some little anecdote from your own life, maybe, with Baba's humor playing up? Or any Baba story?
I have not anything. I am empty pockets.
Tachagaru.
I don't know what to do. Well, we're focusing on humor, is that right?
Yep.
Roshani?
Yes, Ralph.
Well, I don't know. Um, I can read. Only Betty. I don't know if McCall, no, was not. She doesn't come to Baba RTO.
What?
I'll read what I read last night, which is funny. And it's Baba 2 days before they left Mehrabad, setting out on the new line. So I'll preface with one paragraph before the story gets rolling in earnest. Uh-oh. Where are we? Uh, I may have goofed out. Baba. I may have lost page. Let's see here. 48. Okay, we want October 1949. Yes. October 1949. Here we are. On the morning of October 14th, this is Lord Mayor, from Lord Mayor, page 3432 in the edition that's posted on the Trust website. On the morning of October 14th, the Mandali at Mehrabad were called to Marazad to witness Baba symbolically end his must work by shaving, bathing, and clothing two of his favorites, Ali Shah and Muhammad. Both musts were now living at Mehrabad, being cared for by Sidhu. Did I say they were at Mehrabad? Were called on the morning of October 14th, the Mandali at Mehrabad were called to Marazad. Is that what I read? Did I say that? Anyone? Okay.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes,
All right.
yes.
By bathing, shaving, and clothing. Ali Shah and Muhammad. Both musts were now living at Mehrabad, being cared for by Sidhu. After this symbolic event, Baba went to Mehrabad in the afternoon. It's 1949. So we know they begin the new life on the 16th, and this is the 14th already. Ramju Abdullah, and Baba went to Mehrabad in the afternoon of the 14th. Ramju Abdullah, Ghani Mansif, and Kak Sahib opined that the Mandali should be served a good meal before their departure with Baba, to which Baba agreed. They requested non-vegetarian food, and for the first time, Baba gave his consent for meat to be served in Mehrabad. When the meal was ready, Baba asked where it should be eaten. Mandali Hall was suggested. Baba asked Dake what he thought, and being a rather orthodox Brahmin, he critically said, "This hall is the sacred seat of the Avatar, and never until now has non-vegetarian food been served near your seat. So in my opinion, I disapprove of it being taken there." Others protested that it is not good to divide the group because of one man's prejudices. But Baba replied, "For me, the opinion of even one man counts. You are all on one side and Dake is on the other. So I will side with Dake and say let's not eat inside." As a result, at 6:30, everyone had to have the meal in Kakubai's hut. Anyone know where that is? Kakubai's hut? I don't remember any of the structures at Mehrabad being called that.
Maybe it's the one in front of the men's porch that later became Fallows and Dawns, and that is the only hut that is separate from.
Yes. Okay. On the As a result, at 6:30, everyone had to have the meal in Kakubai's hut, while Dake and Kalimama, also a Brahmin, had a mixture of sweets as their supper, which they ate in the hall. While Baba served the food and distributed wine, whiskey, whiskey, and brandy that he permitted Sarosh to bring, Dake read out a speech entitled Farewell to Baba and Companions. Adi Sr. and Ramju helped themselves to glass after glass of the liquor. Others too freely imbibed. But when Baba approached Faram, is that Faram working box swallow? It was Faram. Okay. But when Baba approached
No,
Faram,
Baram is his brother, brother Baram.
F is in with as in Faluda. Feram, Faram. When Baba approached Faram, he indicated, do not ask for more. Baba was pouring the liquors. Don't ask for more, Baba told uh, Pharaoh. And then, but Pharaoh had a glass, and Baba poured 2 drops in Pharaoh's glass. Sailor, teasing Pharaoh, elbowed him in the ribs, urging him to plead Baba for more. Pharaoh, in response to this, held out his glass, but Baba ignored him. Although there was joking and laughter, the argument over food had taken place prior to eating, so that by the time they actually sat down to the dishes of meat, all were dejected and the general mood was spoiled. Even this last supper could not be held in a pleasant atmosphere, and that was Baba's preference. He would make his closest disciples eat and drink, but at the same time create situations so that no one found any real pleasure in it. Also, Pindu had been able to dispose of the lands and animals, but due to the strain of the work, Hindu had fallen ill with a fever and sore throat and did not attend the meal. Jai Bob, we'll stop there. That was my
Jai
touch
Baba
of
Ram.
humor. My touch
Thank
of
you.
humor.
Thank you. Thank you.
Very
was
different
sweet.
story. Yeah,
Yeah.
of living with Baba, but never enjoying. Yeah, but I think we have it easy. I don't know. I'm not suffering. Well, I'm, not like they did. Baba did. I remember Baoji saying that he's really jealous of us. He says, "You're having it so easy." Yeah, but yeah, we have it easy.
Having
They
a,
had-
a
What? I didn't hear what he said.
having a
We have it easy. He said that we have it easy.
yeah.
Yeah. And it's true. Or is anyone going through suffering? Except this whole country here.
The
Betty, you
I'll
said yes?
What?
You said yes?
Oh, what, going through suffering?
Yeah. Are you suffering?
I'm moving. That's suffering.
That is suffering, yeah. Yeah, that is suffering. But you know how they suffered.
I know. I know.
But reading that, in fact, I always feel that it wouldn't be possible without his grace for them to be even able to live and obey the way Manli lived with Baba.
Absolutely.
Because it's not humanly fathomable to even think that, in normal circumstances, a human could live in that way and fashion with that depth of obedience and, uh, doing like almost like hypnotic robot who has no free will whatsoever, and be able
Absolutely.
to go through that. It's just so it's like just this very thin line between the divine form and the human form, that he actually kind of made them walk that thin thread almost. But
Yeah,
he is so
absolutely. But he
powerful
used to,
and so
uh,
human.
but he used to say, I cannot be so good and so surrendering, so, how do you call it, devoted to everything, to be such good disciples like they are. He said about himself, he says, my disciples, my mandali, I could not be such mandali if I had to be. And but he suffered so much, Baba, himself. And they said, he always said, you can't share my suffering, but actually they did. And we are very lucky because he made it very easy for us. He is making it very easy. His love is making it so easy to be with him that I could never go back to a life there Baba is not there.
Yeah.
Because that is suffering. Being in a life where Baba is not, that is suffering.
Mm, true. I don't
I-
remember the name of this elderly lady, but I briefly remember this story where she was in a wheelchair. She was suffering from a skin problem or issue for years. And the Manli asked her that, why don't you tell Baba to kind of make you free of it? And so she wouldn't tell anything to Baba. And one fine day, some of the Manli told Baba that, she's been suffering. Baba, just help her and, get it over with. And Baba just smiles and says, of course, anytime. If she asks me, I will do it like right now. It is just a matter of my glance, words to speak, so to speak. And they go and say, hey, listen, Baba is in a good mood. He just said that if you ask him, he'll do it right away. And she goes, no, no, of course not. I don't want it to happen. And Baba, please do not do that, because I would rather have this suffering in this lifetime where I have met you and I am under your love.
Goodness.
And I do not want to carry forward this suffering in any other birth where I don't even know if I will meet you.
Yeah,
So
right.
that
Beautiful.
was huge. That was huge,
Yeah. Yeah. But
oh,
about
when I read that.
skin diseases, Mani had skin disease and also Mansari. So Mansari had that one day. I think she came to Baba and I don't remember how the story is. It with Mansari or with someone else, and he took it away from her, but he took it on himself. And when she heard that he
Oh,
took it on himself, then she said, "No, no, I want it back. I don't do that." Yeah.
oh, wow. There's this other little one from Era Jasawala's book. That's how it is. Was. Sorry. 1 second.
That's how it is.
Does
That's
anyone
how
know
it
the
is.
story?
1 second.
There's a
Where is
story, and I'm failing to remember how it goes, the details. It's a very good story, very funny. Baba, and regarding Baba with Dr. Abdul Ghani. And, Ghani struggled financially. we all hear about that. And that he really had a tough time. And yet, if he had the opportunity, he loved to enjoy the good things of life. And like he liked to go to the Taj Mahal Hotel in Bombay for a good meal, and to socialize with people he knew, I guess. Well, so something came about and Gandhi wanted to go there. See, I don't remember all the details, but Baba had put him had paired Gandhi with Gustaji.
Yeah.
And said, you two have to stick together. So I had Gustaji to the hotel with him. And when they were there, something very embarrassing happened. I don't remember what it was. And it was just really difficult for Gandhi to bear that, and he blamed it all on Gustaji.
Sounds funny.
That reminds me of a story with Gandhi and wanting to eat. And Baba really loved him because he could laugh so much with him. Because also, he was a schoolmate. So it's like it was more than, just having these young people that he trained as Mandali. But he was a friend, from very young. So, but he had this humor, so Baba enjoyed it. So, so about Gandhi loved eating. So Baba sent him out. He said, "Okay, you go. I give you money, and you can order what you want in this restaurant." Gandhi was very pleased. He went out and he ordered everything, and he felt like the king himself. And came back and Baba said, "How was it?" So he was telling Baba, and he's very pleased, and like he was very, he was also very proper. So he really impressed the proprietor and everything. So Baba says, next day, he says, "Now you go and you wash the dishes there." So, or something like that, or you don't have money to eat, or don't have money.
He told him to beg outside that same restaurant.
Oh, no, I think wash the dishes, do some menial work there.
Yeah.
So one day he appears as as a big man and an important man and a wise man, and impresses the proprietor, and the next day he's down. So Baba made him that way. Baba is very funny. Actually, Baba went through all these things himself with Pasni Maharaj, and so Baba never did anything to someone else that he did not he would not take upon himself to do. So there's another story. When they were in Manzil and Mim, one of them was riding in a train and come back from work, and because some of them worked, so he said, "Don't talk to anyone. Don't talk to anyone at all. You come back, in strict seclusion." So this guy that knows him from school sees him on the train, starts talking to him. "Hello, how are you?" And this, and he's very excited, and he's not replying at all. He's not just, with his face closed, and and so the other guy it seems because he was so excited and so verbal, so he would seem crazy to the people around him. He's saying this to this man, and this man is absolutely not recognizing what he's doing. So don't you recognize me? Don't you remember me? We went to school together. He goes on and on. Nothing. He's empty face. So he
One
did his work well. He came
story,
back to Bob.
story about
No,
Dashman,
I haven't
Dr.
finished. I haven't
Dashman.
finished, Ralph. Ralph,
Oh,
I
you're
haven't
not finished. I thought you were
Ralph, no. So he comes back to Baba, and Baba says, of course, Baba always knows what is happening. So he tells him this thing. He said, I felt so bad. This guy was so nice. And so he says, next day you go to his home and you bring him to me. And so he got a darshan. So from this, he got a darshan of the master, because he went to this friend and he told him, and he told him, and he brought him to Baba, and that's how the story ended. Yeah, Ralph, okay. Your turn, Baba.
Well, at Marazad, Baba was staying at Marazad, and the Mandali were there. Some the ones who were there, and they were expecting Dr. Deshmukh. And Baba had told everyone, says, now Deshmukh is coming. I want all of you to behave as though you've become as a muss. You got, like you're absolutely insane, but have become muss. I want you to act really crazy. Don't give any crack of doubt in your behavior. But before Deshmukh, when he sees you, just don't make any sense at all. And in your behavior, be abnormal. And so they did that. They did that, and Deshmukh apparently, whether he pretended or whether he accepted it, he told everyone that the Mandali had all become mice. But Baba behaved normal, I think. But everyone else behaved as mice. And Deshmukh told people that the Mandali had all become mice. I don't remember what happened after that, how it ended. I'm sure it was, things were made clear at some point, for Deshmukh. I don't know how it was done. Can't remember.
I think if I remember right, I don't remember how it ended, but one of them was sane. One of them played the sane one. It might have been Baoji, but I'm not sure. And so he told that Baba made all of them, they became, God realized that they must Oh, Baba, this is really funny. So they really had fun with Dr. So there's another thing with Dr. Deshmukh. So Dr. Deshmukh really loved Baba. So he really loved Baba. So one day Baba played a joke on him. So these things where you wrap a gift with another paper and another paper, another paper, another paper, it becomes a very big wrapped present. So they put a rock, and put a stone, and they wrapped it and wrapped it and wrapped it and wrapped it. And Baba said, now when Deshmukh comes, you give it to him as a gift from Baba. So Deshmukh comes, I think it was in Guru Prasad. So Deshmukh comes and they give him this gift. Wow, from Baba. So he starts unwrapping the gift. So he wraps and wraps and unwraps and unwraps. And all are waiting to see how you react when you find the stone there. And finally they get to the stone. And he just takes it in stride. You know, it's a gift from Baba. Whether it's a stone or sweet, no matter what, it's a gift from Baba. So he's completely unabashed by this thing. He takes it as a gift. So really, 100 points for Deshmukh. And everyone is so disappointed because they wanted to see crestfallen and nothing happened. So Baba showed how much love this person had for him. Yeah.
Excuse me. I gotta do something. I'm sorry. I'll be just a
Yeah.
bit.
Sure. I'll read
Yeah.
this, one of my favorite ones, the card story. So, for relaxation, Baba would go to Munshiji's house to play cards. Once, while playing cards at Munshiji's, he quietly stole a card from Ramju, and as a result, his side won. In the middle of the next game, Ghani did likewise. But this time, Ramju saw it. He complained to Baba, who rebuked Ghani for cheating. Ghani for some time bitterly thought, Meher himself pilfers cards and then rebukes me for the same. After a little longer, Baba stopped the game and told the men a true story about a perfect master. One day, a Sadguru went with some of his disciples to a city where he was known. He approached a candy shop and entering put some sweets in his mouth. His disciples too mimicked him in this respect. He then visited a bakery and there also the same thing happened. He picked up some cookies and put them in his mouth, and his disciples did the same. Then he went to a blacksmith's shop where there were red hot pieces of iron in the furnace. The master picked up one of the pieces and ate it. His disciples stared at him. The Sadguru then said, Now eat this too. Not one dared move, and the master admonished, Why did you do as I did? Are you parrots? Never do as I do, but do as I say. After hearing this tale, Ghani burst out laughing, and Baba asked the reason. He replied, I bow down to your knowledge. You have answered my question superbly. Jai Baba.
Yeah. Baba is so elegant in what he does. He's so elegant, you know, the way he answers, the way he rebukes, you know, not rebuking, but you know, not getting angry, but doing something so clever and so elegant and so charming the way he handles and still does. That's what I feel with him. Yeah.
This is another one, I think maybe before closing, you could
Okay.
read this. It is from That's How It Was by Iraj, Anecdotes by Iraj. Sometimes when we were traveling by train, Baba and I used to travel second class, and the rest of the mandali with us would travel servant class. But they would come into our compartment and we would play cards. If the conductor ever came in, I would just tell him that these were our servants, and so they would be allowed to stay with us. Especially around mealtime, it was no problem having them join us because servants would naturally be needed then to serve the food. But just as this lover from the south would not have understood our ways, there were many who would not have understood Baba's playing cards. Their concept of God was quite different. So when such lovers came, Baba would always act very serious and solemn in short. He would act up to their concept of how God was expected to behave. Once I remember we were playing cards when suddenly a car drove up and some of these lovers arrived to see Baba. Quick, Baba gestured, sit on the cards. So we all slipped the cards underneath us and sat very straight, looking at Baba most attentively. The lovers came in and Baba greeted them and then engaged them in some sort of spiritual discourse for a while. I don't remember what Baba said, but it was on some lofty spiritual theme which conformed with their preconceptions about what sort of subjects were suitable to discuss with the God man. And after a few minutes, they paid their respects and left. Are they gone? Baba asked. I checked and made sure the car had driven away. Yes, Baba, I said, they had gone. Baba smiled and gestured like this with his hand. Get out the cards, and we resumed our game. That is what I mean by being natural with Baba, and yet not interfering with the natural relationship that another has with him. Sometimes people ask us, but why didn't you ask Baba this, or why didn't you ask Baba to explain why he was doing that? But but it just didn't seem natural to do that in his presence. Not that it was wrong to do such a thing, but it just never occurred to us. We just naturally lived our lives in a certain way in his presence and it. Sorry.
That's so beautiful. Yeah, that is so beautiful.
And it would not have seemed natural to suddenly start questioning Baba about why he was doing this or that. We didn't stop and analyze and agonize over it the way you do. We didn't wring our hands and wonder, oh, should I ask Baba or shouldn't I ask Baba? No. We just naturally felt that sometimes it was appropriate to ask Baba certain questions and sometimes it wasn't. Jai Meher Baba.
It's very beautiful. Yeah, sometimes, I'm very aware, being not a Westerner, but a Middle Easterner, more with the Western education, that that is why Baba felt sometimes so comfortable in the West, because in the East, there is a special conception of how the godman should be behaving and what he should do, and the guru, what he should be and how he should wear, and how you are supposed to behave to him and how you're not supposed to behave to him. And I respect that so much. But we from the West, or me from the Middle East, we have no idea about these things, no idea at all about these things. So out of ignorance, not out of any wisdom. So we come differently to the Mandali or to elders in India or to wearing or to talking, or so it's completely different. But I think that when Baba used to go to the West, he used to relax more because people did not expect him to wash his feet, to bow down. They could be with him in a friendly way. They could hug him, they could kiss him, they could, and we see that in pictures and in movies. And they took him to plays and could sit in a coffee shop with him. And so he had it sometimes easy in the West because people did not have all these preconceptions about how it is to be with a guru and how it is. So this story that you told is very applicable to that. And of course, none of us in the East and in the West really understand the high position of Baba being God. And if we would have gone beyond into the realms of the godhood, which we might reach after we pass away, we would see how the angels and how the gods are behaving to God and what they allow themselves to do and not to do in his presence. So, which is also restrictive sometimes. Sometimes I think about God in the beyond, and not Baba, because I don't think he will allow that to be done to him. That we place this God on a big golden chair at the back of big hall, beautiful hall, with the angels on both sides singing and singing, and he has to sit there all the time, and hearing the angels sing and people bow down, or I don't know what, it's quite boring. It's quite a heavy job to do. So I think that Baba really enjoyed this with the intimate ones. He really enjoyed with the class, the passing of the, with the jokes and the card games and going to the West and having just it easy and not looking at him with those afraid, to touch or to say something wrong. But he made us all feel very intimate with him and still does. So I don't, if I would think that Baba is God, I know that he's God. And I appreciate that he's God and that he's the highest of the high. But if I would have to think every moment, wow, I'm with God, and can I move? Can I move left? Can I move right? So Baba is making it very easy for us to be with him. And he is giving us this very intimate, like what you read, Roshani, about the Sahavas. He's giving us, where everyone thought that he loves them the best. He's actually doing it with us. He's giving us the feeling that he's totally with us, totally loving each one of us, the way accepting us with all our mistakes and all our failures. And
True. There was this one other thing also pertaining to that about I think in the 3 incredible weeks, that every time that Baba gave darshan, it seemed that he was looking at me, and everybody that I asked about, they said Baba was constantly looking at me. All of us felt that individual attention that Baba would give, kind of. And and something to effect which you mentioned, that Baba had said about this when somebody asked that, Baba, you have so many Western followers and very few Indian. And Baba had explained words to effect that how being born in India has layers and layers of sanskaras and mind conditioning, and which is a greater task for me. But the Westerners are very, very simple for me because they don't have all this preconditioning kind of a thing. They don't come with that baggage, and it's easy for them to see through who I really am, without any of these fixated, boxes that we put God in. And it beautifully reminds me also of something very early in my journey with Baba and with my work, that somebody had commented that, oh, all this spiritual people wear all these fancy clothes and manicure and pedicure their feet and something to that effect. And I prayed upon that for many days, and it came to me with his love one fine day to comment on that person's thing, that it is possibly because we box God and spiritual people or whatever, for example, to be in a certain framework, is why people can wear garbs and take us astray or fool us, because they know what you are expecting, and therefore they want to fall and be in that bracketed ways or means or clothes or whatever it could be. And loving God or being spiritual has got nothing to do with me loving lovely dresses and still wearing my lipstick and having my nails manicured and pedicured. So this is so true. And in everyday life also, we expect God with a big beard, which also Baba had, I think, jokingly mentioned. I had read it in Lord Meher once, but how we think that the spiritual being God has to be with a big beard, and how Ram didn't have a beard and Krishna didn't have a beard, and none of the avatars actually have a beard as such. So so beautifully.
So about that thing with the pedicure and manicure, it's like when Mera came to with Khorshid, they came to Merabat for the first time, and Khorshid said, we're going to live, life in ashram and all that, so we'll have to give something up. And so she told her, what shall we give up? She says, let's give up our pillows. Let's give up our pillows. So they packed everything without the pillows, and they went from beds into sleeping on the floor. And they both came from a very rich family, so they were not used to sleeping on the floor and sleeping, like they did in the ashram. So anyway, they come and Baba comes and checks and says, checks the beddings and everything. And he says, where are your pillows?
Pillows.
Where are your pillows? And they didn't know what to say. So he said, go back and bring your pillows. I don't want you to get sick or to get, illness in the, how do you call this? Throat, not throat, but neck. So about the pedicure and manicure, when he came to the West, Star told them that they are spiritual people, so they shouldn't have lipstick and they shouldn't have powder, and they should have simple attire. So Baba was, when he came, he allowed Meredith Star way to be, because he came to his place. So he allowed him to run it the way he runs it. So he didn't say anything. But when he went back to France in the train, he went back with Margaret Crass. So another story is that at night they were sleeping in the train. They had each one place, how do you call it, a small room. Baba had the room with his man, but they had a wall connected to them. So Baba would tap on the wall 3 times, saying, "I love you," and she was supposed to tap back, "I love you." Baba kept her up all night. Tuck, 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 and she had tuck, tuck, tuck. So when they came to France, when she came to Paris, she was tired. She didn't sleep. I mean, that was love for her. She enjoyed it very much to tap all night. But then when she came, she was tired, so she was haggard. And she didn't put lipstick, she didn't put makeup, or whatever they did, or powder or something. So they're sitting in a coffee, drinking something, having breakfast or something. And Baba says, so she didn't understand what he was trying to say. So several times he was trying to, oh no, he was going like this. So she didn't understand. So she says, Baba, this. And she says, no, no, no. So she says, Baba, this. No. So it took her time to understand that what he wants her to do is put powder on herself and put lipstick and all that. So Baba really loves his women to get dressed. He really does. And he always, when they were in seclusion, they never wore their good stuff. But anyone coming, or when they went to a movie, Baba would say, put on your best saris and look nice when we go out. And it is true. A woman should be looking nice. And Baba really loved it. And I really honor that with Baba till this day. So any woman who wants to paint her nails and put lipstick on, actually in our country, very few women put makeup and lipstick, and so it's very natural in our country that many women would not do that. So I don't do that, but there are women here, of course, they do, and they put makeup and they put. But I do think that Baba wants women to be female-like, dressed and beautiful looking, and that is for Baba, for his pleasure.
And I think Mani or Mehra had mentioned about this as well, of how Baba specifically had told the women monthly to, as you say, dress up and be at their best. And one, when that story about nobody likes a ginger face, garlic face or something, yeah. So I think after that or something that he had mentioned that, he wants all the women, and then Mani or Mehra, I can't remember in whose video that was, where they say that, then we were very, very particular that we all have to be absolutely, dressed to the T and dressed in the best loving way that Baba would feel good. And he never wanted us to have any of these external austerities of being in certain ways and so on, and wanted us to be naturally doing what women have to do, kind of a thing.
Yeah, it's interesting that he didn't ask that for the men. And they used, when they were with him, they used to be in their most worst torn underwear, and because he used to be so strict with the money, because he was very careful with the money that he was passing through him from other people in order to serve people. So he would use the money as best he could for everyone else but them. So they, the Mandali, lived in really strict means, and also the women Mandali, as they told when they were up the hill, they used to mend their skirts so many times, the ones that they would wear when they were not going out. They would mend them and mend them and mend them with bits of clothes from here and from there, and the men Mandali, they used to have so few, little soap and little for the shaving and little for the night of the shaving. And he used to be really strict about that because of the money going through him to serve the world rather than to serve them. That's why they lived so very simply.
True.
That's why he went in third class trains and slept on floors of the train stations, and really, and even in the new life, they slept outside. The men, only for the women, they had this courage, so that they would be protected. Yeah, Baba was really, whatever he preached, he did himself, and the Mandali too.
I thought of a story that Eric used to tell fairly often. Oh, Baba, Eric was on a journey. They were traveling, probably must tours, probably everything, And they were on a train, third class. And, but they had a compartment. And there were several of the Mandali and Baba in a compartment. And this was a time when things were really hot during Gandhi's time, and the Muslims and Hindus, the blood was really, it was a lot of violence. And chaos broke out on the train. While they were moving, the train was en route, and fighting broke out on the train amongst those Muslims and Hindus, I guess, on the train. And people were getting killed. And they were telling Baba, the Mandali were saying, Baba, fighting has broken out on the train. These people have gone mad. And he says, Baba, it's mostly the Muslims have started it. They're attacking. And if they come in here, what will they think of us? They may kill us. They may want to kill us. And Baba said, oh, okay, all of you make room on the floor. And Baba laid down on the floor. They said, now cover me up with the sheet and behave as though you are praying over me. And so, sure enough, the madness came back to their bogey, and suddenly the door opened, and there were these crazed men with machetes and knives. And they looked in and saw the sheet with the body under it and everyone praying. And then, and due to that sight, they closed the door and went on their way without bothering anyone. Out of respect for the occasion that someone was dead, had died. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
That's
Thanks,
a great,
Belle.
yeah, it's a great story where Baba made himself as if he's a body.
True.
Roshni, it must be late in your side.
Yes.
What time is it?
It's 10 o'clock, so I think we'll wind up.
That was
We didn't
wonderful to
it
be
didn't
with you.
feel it was 2 hours of Baba's humor.
Yeah, Baba Yuma and story. So it was wonderful being with you. Thank you for doing this.
Same here.
And
No,
they're really
thank
hard
you.
days here, really hard days here. So just talking about these things and laughing and remembering Baba's humor and mischievousness was just great. So thank you, Roshni, for doing
Thank
so.
you. Thank you for being there, and
Thanks, Roshani.
lots
Yeah.
of Baba love to each one.
And also Vandana.
Vandana. Yeah.
Thank you. We saw you
Yeah.
smiling and you were participating much though, with all your heart and with your laugh. And
No,
And
even
Rita
though
auntie as well.
Yeah, Rita Auntie is also there. I haven't read so many books of Baba, but all the anecdotes that you all were sharing, some of them I have heard them in the past. So it was really nice. And one thing that really resonated with me was the fact that, you know, Baba makes each one of us feel special. Like everybody feels, oh, he's the closest to me. Oh, he will do the best for me, you know. So I think that's really powerful. And that's what makes it so beautiful to be in a relationship with Baba, you know, like every time you're, you know, going down and out, and you know, some beautiful thing will come up and tell you that, listen, I'm here, I'm listening to you, you don't have to worry. So I find
Yeah.
that very very overwhelming and beautiful, and I could resonate with that, with many stories that you all were sharing. So it was lovely evening for me.
Thank you. And you were totally here, even though you didn't tell a
Yeah.
story, but here you told a beautiful
Yeah.
thing. And but
Yeah.
your heart was resonating and was speaking.
Yeah.
So, and your smile, and yeah. So Roshni,
Thank
I'm
you.
also very impressed by the work that you do with the children in Mehrabad.
Thank you to Baba. Yeah.
And if I was there, I would surely be, you know, coming in and just, you know, playing around with the kids, because
Yeah.
it was needed, and you did a beautiful job there. And also
Thank
that I
you.
saw you in Amartiti, having so much fun at your booth, making everybody laugh and sing, and you are
Yeah.
something. You have this spirit, and you like you do really good in bringing that, and you know, making other people open up to that too.
Thank
Where
you,
does
Baba.
Vandana live?
What?
Where do you live,
Uh,
Vandana?
Ralph, I live in Mumbai, quite close to Roshni's house.
Ah,
Yeah,
Ah,
I'm
you're
in
lucky.
Mumbai. Yeah, I'm lucky.
yeah.
I'm fortunate
Rita
to have
auntie
met.
also.
Yeah,
Yeah, Rita,
Are you close to anyone we know? Like
I'm close to Baba.
yeah, we
close
know
to
Baba.
Baba? Yeah.
We know
Yeah.
Baba.
Yeah.
That's a good one to be close
Yeah.
to. The best
That's
one,
a
the
good one
best
to be
one.
close
Best
to.
one.
Yeah, so it's
The
very
one who
late there.
connects us
So
all.
it's very late there. So have a nice night with Baba.
Nice.
And
Thank you.
Yes. Yes.
thank you, Ralph.
Thank you
It's
so
all-
much. Should we do the
Thank you.
beloved God prayer
Um,
just to close?
Okay.
Would you like to
I'm
start?
Who we-
Beloved God. Yeah.
Vandana, you asked Vandana to pray. Me.
Betty,
Sorry,
Mikhail, anyone would like to start beloved God prayer before we end?
Beloved God.
Beloved God, help us all. Sorry.
To love you more and more.
more and still yet more,
more,
until we
till
become
we
worthy
become
of
worthy
union.
of union with you. And
please
help us all
to
hold fast
those
to
Dhamma
Baba's Daman till
until
the very end. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai.
Thank you, Baba. Thank you all.
Thank you, Baba. Thank you, Betty. Thank you, Ralph, Vandana.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you,
Thank you,
Baba.
Baba.